You can take away my air to breathe, my will to live, my soul to give, but as long as you leave, 'cause I can't breathe without my microphone. Well, I could be in the desert of sand with the choice between or the rubber band, and I choose my microphone. I could be straight nailed to the cross, cropper. Give me, Lord, but sing it in my voice. All I need is my microphone. I could be in the pits of hell with my soul on fire, my band right behind ya.
Anatomy of a Hit, episode 7. I'm live in the studio with Jeneba Suma.
J Suma.
So tell the people a little bit about where you're from.
J Suma, aka Jeneba Suma, or the other way around rather, aka J Hooks, aka Mrs. Music, one part of Mr. and Mrs. Music, which is part of our production team, which is Music Majors, which mine is Hustle Hard, which is I'm everything basically. But I'm originally from Sierra Leone, West Africa. Planted my roots here in Baltimore. Been here pretty much all of my life. Went to school here. A Forest Park graduate. Doing music from rappers, singers, producers, just a little bit of everything.
Tell me, who are some of your musical influences?
Oh my goodness. So I don't have the typical musical influences that people usually talk about, like, oh, I love Michael Jackson, which I did, but my musical influences range. They actually range, and not just music. A lot of things influence me that are even a part of today's scene, people who are my age. Believe it or not, one of my musical influences is not a person that does music.
Okay.
A couple of them. Eda Poet MC, but I know him from the art scene here in Baltimore.
Okay.
Femi the Dry Fish. When I hear that, they're all poets.
Okay.
But when I hear their poetry, it's such an effective influence. I look at the impact that they have when it comes to stage presence.
Okay.
So that's one of the things I apply to my stage presence as an artist. Other than that, Rochelle Farrell, one of my strongest influences.
All right.
She has such great technical skill. She is like, her voice is an instrument.
Okay.
So when I look at and listen to her sound, that was one of the things as I began to hone and develop myself as an artist, that because of some of the platforms that I would perform, there wouldn't be a live band, and you know I perform with a live band.
Okay.
So I had to learn to create, to make my voice an instrument, so that when you are watching me, you're captivated.
Okay.
So I've taken little pieces of things from little James Brown, that energy that he has. You know, when I get out there and do the house music, the dance floor becomes the stage.
Okay.
I want to get you up out your seat. So, you know, I learn to hone and develop my show from beginning to end, so it can be captivating, to grab the audience, to get them involved, things like that. So James Brown was a big influence because he just always had that means to captivate people. Evanescence, I don't know if you are familiar with Evanescence.
Very familiar.
I loved it. I don't think they're even together anymore, but the when I listen to that music, it's so impactful. It takes you on a ride. Even my husband, Pop Somerville, like, he's an influence to me because of his drive. You know, when he makes music, it tells a story as well. I like music that takes you on a journey, and that was one of the things that I developed as an artist. So when you see me face forward, you get the impact that you hear in my music when you listen to it.
Okay.
I want to take you on that full journey. So all of them, all those people, I take a little bit of something from them. I mean, I love my Erykah Badu because she's different. So I got a few. I mean, I could go on and on. The Billie Holidays, you know, all of those people have something effective that I've taken a little piece of what they do, or something that they had within. And Donny Hathaway, one of my favorite. Effective. Like, when I hear him sing, it's one of those things that sends chills through my body.
Okay.
I go all, man, it's a little bit of everything, you know, groups, soloists, people that have nostalgic sounds, people that have great stage presence. All of those influence the way that I nurture a song to create that story that takes you on a journey, whether it's a house song and I want you to feel good, or it's a song that I write about effective, something like Hustle Hard, where I write something that's effective to your life, that's part of my everyday life that people relate to. I always want to be able to relay that message in a way that is effective to you. And so all those things, I take those components, put them together, and boom, you got Jeneba Suma.
Okay. How did you get into the music business?
It was a combination of things, actually. So, like, I always sang from church. From the age of 5, my mom said, "What do you like to do?" And I told my mom one day I wanted to sing in church.
Okay.
And so we had the type of pastor that she was like, go tell the pastor. And I don't care if you wanted to, like, juggle apples. He would let you do it during the church service. So one day I just got up and I just sang. And so from that, you know, it was like, wait, we have something here. This girl can't just sing, she can sing. So, you know, so I did my first concert at 10 years old at my church, which was Mount Lebanon growing up. And it transitioned into high school, where I was in a group with 2 other young ladies, which was Paula Frank, who is now Genesis Day, and Talia Burgess, who is now Sheree, who used to be Chinky of the group Lover, who was from Baltimore. That was a female group that Cisco picked up. She was the lead singer in that group. So the 3 of us were Shades of Ebony. Prior to that, and so when we were Shades of Ebony, we were managed by Claudius Cole, who got us signed to Hush. They were an independent label who had major distribution. So my first walk through music, I think I was about 15, was doing my first recordings of Jane McFadden.
Okay.
You know, remember Jane McFadden?
I do.
McFadden, the man, no stopping, no stopping.
Wow.
So my first recording was a remake of one of his songs. I was younger then, so I think that I didn't see some of the moments that were given to me. He said, if you ever leave this group, come find me. Oh, wow. And I reached out to him, and then I found out he died 6 months before that.
Oh, wow.
And so he said, you're not a group singer. You're a solo artist.
I know that's right. So how would you classify your sound? Like, what genre would you kind of say you fit in, or how would you classify
in
yourself?
this industry? If you're different, they automatically group you into neo soul.
Okay.
If you're not R&B in today's music world, which is so different, and I feel like it's a lot less effort than it was in the 90s when people were real groups and real singers and music had substance and words meant something. I feel like, I guess people would class. I'm naturally a soul singer. That's undeniable. But I'm all kinds of stuff. You know, I can be trap soul when I want to be trap soul. You know, I can be house with a little bit of soul when I want to be house soul. You know, if I can just be soul, singing from the bottom of my heart, taking my shoes off and making you want to cry. So, you know, I got that R&B soul. So I'm a soul singer to the core, to the heart. I live it, I breathe it. It's in me. So I can't really say. I think that people, in first glance, if they first experience me for the first time, they're like, oh, she's a neo soul singer. But then I get on stage and I do some, I was sitting in the morning at the diner on the corner. They're like, wait a minute, she do something else. So, you know, so I'm an artist. I don't classify myself. I mean, I can tell you what I'm not, you know, because I do rock. You know, I do everything, but I think I just naturally have a soulful voice because my music is my story. That's my testimony. I would say that they would put some of it under neo soul. They would put some of it under house music. But trap soul is really becoming a category. And now, and that's that's the lane that I'm even taking now. This new project, Jeneba Suma, half woman, half machine. One side is my house, my EDM, my world music. The other side is all my soul. So my trap soul, my neo soul, anything that is part of the soulful part of me, you know, my ballads, any of those things.
Okay.
So I fall into those lanes, and I just kind of make it my own. So.
Okay. So I've been a huge fan of yours for many years.
Yes.
Your voice, your style, everything is truly unique in today's market. So I guess what I really want to know is, have you had any formal training, and how did you develop your style?
I have. I went to Peabody Preparatory for vocal music. I won a scholarship through the American Black Businesswomen's Association when I was about, I want to say like from age 13 to 15.
Okay.
It was ironic because I auditioned for School for the Arts, and the late Nathan Carter was the person that will audition you.
Okay.
And he says to my mom, they didn't choose me.
Okay.
And he's like, so my mom, after it was over, says, well, what happened? Because she, you know, listened to something. He said she sounded like Patti LaBelle or something.
Oh, wow.
And my mother said, well, the last time I checked, she was rich, so that's not a good thing.
Right.
And I was so heartbroken. And so I said to him, I said, you're going to see me again. About a month and a half later, I did an event at Morgan.
Okay.
And I sang. He comes up after that, he gives me his card, and I think I wasn't even finished high school. He goes, you know, you don't have to go here to be a part of the choir. I would like to have you. I said, you don't remember me?
Wow.
And so I said, I told you you were going to see me again. He just stood there traumatized. And then from that, the American Black Businesswomen's Association gave me a scholarship to Peabody.
Okay.
For 2 years to take vocal music. My mom made sure that she kept me in things to hone the development of acting, singing, and I just veered more towards music, theater. Okay. And I think all those things contributed to stage presence. Environments where I'm not familiar. I'm a completely different person when I'm not amongst family, so they don't believe as an artist that I'm shy.
Okay.
The artist part of me, that's a different dynamic because you transform into something else.
Okay.
Like when you look at people like Michael Jackson, Prince, when you talk to them and you see how shy they were, I had to learn this portion of me. I developed my style because I wanted to contend with certain things that were focal in the scene here in the Baltimore area, in the DMV. So I kept saying to myself, hey, I see some of these acts that are performing. I'm not saying they're good, but I'm as good as they are, and why am I not on that stage?
Okay.
So I started watching people like Navasha Daya from Fertile Ground.
Okay.
She's very well known overseas. And she was at everything that I wanted to be a part of. So I watched her show. She was one, that's an influence that I left out. And one thing I realized is that people that do live entertainment tell a story on stage.
Okay.
Every story has a beginning, a middle, and an end. So in order to have that happen, you have to create a presence that gives people a beginning, a middle, and an end. And that's how I hone and developed my show performance and transition, because it was like the talent was always there.
Okay.
But I would get on the stage and just sing and walk off. Because I was so internal, it was like that was the part of me that let it all out. So I was an artist, but I was not a great performer.
Okay.
And I had to realize if I wanted to contend and stomp with the big dogs, and I had to learn to have a presence that made me a great performer.
Exactly.
So I would go to the poetry sing intentionally that didn't have a big band before we started having the live bands and all the bells and whistles. And I was, get on the stage and say, look, everybody else is a poet, I'm a singer.
Right.
But a singer is a poet too, because I tell a story too. Mm-hmm. And I would make sure that every word that I sang about was effective, going out to the audience, eye contact, making sure that you feel exactly what I'm trying to give you in message, right there in your face. And I made it.
Oh,
that a part of my show. First time I did it and really stepped out, I opened up for Donnie. I don't know if you remember the singer Donnie he did an album called The Colored Section. We live from the head down and not the feet up, and I'm fine, fine, fine under cloud nine. You might not remember him. He became he was dynamic. Came out, album, killed it on every show. Ellen, Oprah, everything. Blew his vocal cords. And it just went.
Oh, man. Okay.
And I opened up for him. The first time I opened up with him, thousands of people, was Jazzy Summer Nights. After that, the next thing I did was AFRAM. Opened up for Angie Stone and Tony.
Okay.
So I just kept saying, when you do a live performance, you have to get better and better and better. You have to take something from each one of these people that you see. And if you want to contend with this level of entertainment, you need to learn to develop yourself, overcome your fear. Right. But I turned the nervousness into a certain energy that transitioned to my audience. Because one of the things is like, people are captivated when you lock into that person that's paying attention from beginning to end. That's the person you sing to. You build a comfortability with them. You become effective to that person that's never seen you perform before. So those things were things that I grabbed within my performance.
Tell us about any upcoming projects that you're working on.
I have my baby going right now. J Suma, half woman, half machine. So this project is different. Most people do double CD, LP, or whatever you call it, EP, whatever you want to call it. I am doing J Suma, half woman, half machine. And what it is a series of singles.
Okay.
Tell a story about my journey and my life and life experiences, period. So you will not get a whole project of 10 songs on one side. No, they're going to be released one at a time.
Okay.
To be a cohesive project. And so the half woman side is all my soul music.
Okay.
Because like I said, I'm more than one thing. So that's where you're going to get your trap soul, your neo soul, your soul. Mm-hmm. Can't say really the R&B soul. But everything that reminds you of that soul, the things that I write that are so effective, like the hustle hard, struggle last, do the pain, get the cash. So you gonna hear that. Then you get the B side, which is the half machine, because I love that techno house. I like that feel good music that make you hand clap. That's where you get, please take me higher.
Okay.
Come on, take me higher. Music inspires. That I want you to get up out your feet, because I want you to be able to flip the CD and get out the car and do this.
Right.
And then I want you to go to the A side and cry.
Right.
If it or relate, like, man, this made me feel motivated.
You did an organic soul function.
It's called Organic Soul Tuesdays.
Okay. Just a little bit about it, or.
So Organic Soul Tuesdays, I don't know if you're familiar. It's a open mic live band platform for local artists. But artists come from everywhere. Joe Scott was there one night. Jaguar Wright's been there. Raheem Devon, I've been performing with him on the same stages for 10 or 12 years before he was signed to a major label. Okay. This was our platform to open up the door for us to do the music things that we've done for years gone by.
Okay.
So Organic Soul Tuesdays is what opened the door for me to be able to do a lot of the bigger events here. Do you feel the breeze up in the sky? Let it blow, feel you, feel me and learn how to be.
Okay, so tell the viewers, give out your social media links.
I am Jeneba Suma everywhere. Instagram, I'm J Suma Music. That's J, S as in Sam, U as in under, M as in mother, A as in apple music. So either you can put my first and last name in, Jeneba Suma, Suma. And if you put that in Google, it'll take you to my YouTube, my Facebook, my Instagram. I'm Jeneba Suma everywhere. And then on Instagram, I'm J Suma Music with the Jeneba Suma. But I'm everywhere as Jeneba Suma. Mm-hmm.
If you had to give another up-and-coming artist advice on, you know, they want to get into this business and they're looking for some tips, tidbits, and some advice. I know everybody's experience is different. I know what you've been through may be a little bit different than somebody else has been through. But from your perspective, what advice would you give someone?
First thing is to find your lane.
Okay.
Hone your lane. First of all, you know, like, be consistent. Don't stop. It may be sometimes, because, you know, with music, it's an up and down thing.
Okay.
So, you know, I had to work for a little while, then I do music and grind for a little while. But however I did it, some type of way I stayed consistent with doing my music, whether it was recording, whether it was performing.
So consistency and be present.
I made myself a part of everything that was anything in Baltimore, and the biggest thing is supporting other artists.
All right. So,
and hustle hard.
Y'all heard it first. Anatomy of a Hit, episode 7.
Jip.
J Suma.
Jip. Always wanted to be a DJ.
Peace.
Hey.
Lord, take me higher. Come on, take me. Take me. Something in me. No, it needs to be fulfilled. There's a desire deep inside, pushing me with God and my own strong will. There's no limit to the work that I put in just to strive. It's the burning fire of desire in my soul. No, it's my own trial. Lord, I need to go. Please take me higher. Oh, I need to be. Come on, take me higher. Lord, take me higher. Music inspire.